Welcome, you guys, to Vinnies Talk. Vinnies Talk, man. True crime talk. Once again, we are going over the Kiely Rodni case, man. Let me just say this. There's things after things that keep developing. Today we're learning about the infrared cameras that were at Prosser. These cameras were simply there for, fires and stuff like that, wildfires. And I see a lot of YouTubers going over the different footage, the contrast, flipping it from the night, from the dark to the night. And, I definitely have my opinion on that. I don't really know how to say that. Even though we can see, if you zoom up, if you see it in the dark, or when you see it like grainy color, whatever, you see the car actually the headlights going into the water from the car. What do you guys believe? Do you still believe, is this an accident, or is this has to do with some type of foul play? As far as I'm concerned, I've always been, foul play, just because Kiely's car, was found by Adventures with a Purpose, a YouTube group. And this is not why I believe this is foul play, right, guys? I believe this is foul play because, they found her in the hatch in the back, all the way in the rear of the vehicle with the seatbelt or some type of thing hanging out in the back. And the fact that they found her all the way in the hatch of the car, just a car, SUV, whatever you want to call it, makes me think that there's something that's not right. And the way that the town of Truckee is handling this situation, the Truckee way, as we may know it, because motherfuckers don't want to come forward. The FBI, the police enforcement, I believe, once again, man, before I go too deep into this video, these are just my opinions, guys, right? So the way they handle it, just dropping the ball on everything, all the man hours put in, and Adventures with a Purpose goes out there and they find Kiely Rodni. Less than 30-40 minutes on the scene, they locate the car. Whatever the case may be, right off the shoreline of Prosser. And I just don't understand how we watch these videos with the infrared cameras, with the supposedly the light really dark. You can switch it. I seen YouTubers switching it from the light into the dark. We see these cameras, but we don't see, we can't see so far enough. We can't see anybody actually going in. There's no fucking possible way that we would be able to see somebody either struggling in the car or somebody in trying to leave her vehicle, or even her, whatever the case may be. All I know is, man, this just doesn't seem right. Just how Kylie's mom had been acting, and Sammy Smith, number one suspect. Everybody believes that she has something foul to do with this, right? And all I could really say is that, I just don't understand how Sammy could hug her, or how she could hug her with knowing that she left her out there at this camp party, at this party in the woods by herself with strangers, with men, with people. She was vulnerable to anything could happen to her. And, Kylie's mom just expects all the YouTubers out there like myself and many other law and crime channels to just be like, we're not going to stop raising awareness for Kiely. We're not going to try to find hints in what exactly happened that night, right? The more videos I watch, the more research I do, the more questions and answers I'm sorry. The more questions I have and answers that we need, it's just crazy because Kiely was so young. You wouldn't believe that this kind of a thing would happen, and so much sketchy shit, man. In the town of Truckee, and reading just everything about that town, the way people handle themselves, how people are. And I'm not saying everybody who lives in Truckee, Cali is a bad person, but it seems like there's a big cover up, or they're just 300 kids supposedly at this party, and not one of motherfuckers ain't coming through. And I'm sorry, guys, but this is just so sketchy to me. The way, not just how everyone at this supposedly party was been acting. Justice for Kiely. Not just that, but how Kylie's mom handled the situation. If you watch and see these videos, like the video of Sammy Smith and Kylie's mom comes up behind her and hugs her in just this weird way, and I still pray at the end of the day for her family. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, there is a deceased Kiely, a little girl, 16 years old. At the end of the day, she still has a grieving mom, right? But I just feel like, man, dude, the way she acted didn't seem like she really cared. It didn't seem like she really loved her daughter, like a normal parent would be acting after she lost her loved one. Especially Sammy Smith, man, on TikTok, dancing, acting a fool. At the Prosser campground, then leaving Kiely. Says she talked to her at 12:36, supposedly talked to her at 12:36. Do we believe that? No. I don't believe that one bit, because supposedly Kiely's car, SUV, had gone into the water at around 12:34, I believe, in the morning. And we've seen from the videos that this might have some truth in it. But therefore, some of these videos, I'm not sure how I could believe they're factual. I'm not sure. But there's just so much sketchiness going on in Truckee. The way the parents of these children, teenagers, whatever you want to call them, are not talking, they're not coming out. Being in a mountain town, I don't know how they handle business in these kind of areas, but it just seems really sketch, right, guys? If you guys haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. A lot of cool videos, man. I've been covering these two cases which is, I've been covering the Gabby Petito case. That shit was crazy as well. Been covering this Kiely Rodni case, man. Rest in peace to both Gabby Petito and Kiely Rodni. I really fell hard into the Gabby Petito case because I feel like her case was very unique, and she was a very unique person. Gabby didn't deserve what happened to her. She was an artistic, she was an amazing woman, girl. Woman, still a woman, you know what I mean? But she was a hiker, she was a photographer, she was a YouTuber. She was trying to further herself as a person, and the people that are no longer here deserve a voice, right? They deserve a platform, and spreading awareness like this is what I'm trying to do. This is why I do this my YouTube and have a YouTube, because I'm passionate about it myself, you know what I mean? I do like hiking videos, I covered some true crime stuff like these as well. But it's just so skeptical, guys. These little things not adding up. The police searching the water. The FBI supposedly getting involved. And it just doesn't seem that they're doing what they need to do to solve this case. Or they're treating this as this is some type of an accident. But really, if you look at it, when Adventures with a Purpose went down there to get Kiely's fucking SUV, they even said, this doesn't look right, man. This looks a little foul, right? And it is foul. The way the kids were at the party acting very foul. And supposedly that, these are my opinions, supposedly that Sammy, good old Sammy Smith, said, I was sharing this bottle. We were going back and forth to Kiely's car to refill up and drink and share this and share that. Now, if that don't seem like some foul ass shit, I don't know what else does. You're supposed to be protecting your friend, making sure your friend gets home safe, not leaving her ass in the middle of the fucking woods. Excuse me, I need a little drink. Wow. Leaving her in the middle of the woods with strangers, with all the elements, and not being there, and going home with who the fuck knows who Sammy went home with that night. And you know what? I cannot sit here and point my finger at, you know what I'm saying, say she did it, but all I could say is that it's just so suspect of her to just do that, to not be by her side, to not look after a friend in need, you know what I'm saying, or just be by her side. I mean, you came to the party with your friends, like, you shouldn't support them and make sure that they're okay. Normally when you go to any type of party like that, you normally would leave with the person you came with. And if, you know what I'm saying, if we were fucked up, like, I've said this in many of my other videos, guys. I said this in many of my other videos. When you go to a party, if you're with your friends, if you're with your family, you're responsible for them in kind of a way you are. So I used to look at it like this. As long as I get my friend home to the fucking doorstep, in the yard, they're there. You know what I'm saying? They're there and they're safe, and that's all that matters. But in case, you know what I'm saying, in this case, this shit ain't popping off that way. This didn't go down the way that, you know what I'm saying, a real friend would have took responsibility for their actions to look out for their friends. And I really feel like this is what happens, you know. And hey, you know what I'm saying, it could be a real bad accident. It could be. But I just don't see it that way, man. I'm sorry, you know, I don't see it as an accident. Not the way everything went down. And after seeing like these infrared camera videos with, if you really look at the videos, I'm not gonna go into like a screen or whatever and show you guys, but you guys can see them on YouTube. They're all over. You could clearly see the headlights of each car going down into Prosser, into where Kiely's car was found. Just one car goes one way, this other car goes this way. It just doesn't seem right, man. It seems really sketched out. Like some shit went down that night and nobody knew about it. And maybe this is the reason and answers to this mass exit of people leaving, right? Which I kind of didn't really see in the video. No, I didn't really see that. But hey, man, this is what they're saying. But until, like I said before in my other video, guys, what is in the dark shall always come to the light, and I stand by that. You know, I really do. I stand by that because this is factual. Whatever's in the dark, when it's dark, it will come to light. It will be light one day. Not right. It might not happen yet. It might not happen now, right? But it will happen. And I'm gonna continue to share my thoughts because these are my thoughts about the Kiely Rodni case. You know what I mean? Each video I put out is just my take on each little detail in my mind of what I think about it. And it's just so hard to wrap your mind around how any person, guys, a normal human being would not be there for their friend, not be there for their real friend and family. And how can you do this and not say anything about what had happened, you know? And for us to stop and not say anything about, stop talking about this case or just be quiet, it's just simply impossible. If anything, I feel like a lot more YouTubers are going to keep talking about this. About to get a little number going, guys. A little number. A little smoke for Kiely. Anyways, guys, I also have a really big problem with how come the law enforcement didn't get a hold of these cameras. Supposedly, these are a part of the government or part of their town, right? How come, oh, maybe now they have them. How come now how come before they didn't look at these cameras to see all these different cars, all the presence of cars, lights, and all this traffic in the campground, inside this area, this forest, because it is a national forest. You know, I mean, it is Tahoe property, right? This is a big problem, man. You know, this is where I feel like there's shit that is deep rooted, and people, it's hard to see it because not a lot of people in the media is not going to talk about this kind of stuff, right? The media is not going to talk about it. People in Truckee are not going to talk about it. But the justice for Kiely is important because guess what, guys? She no longer has a voice. But guess what? All the people, all the YouTubers out there, and shout out to everybody else out there that's covering this case because it's important to spread awareness, to raise and get these clues out, you know what I'm saying? Talk about this kind of stuff because if we don't talk about it and we just be quiet, I guess anybody, and guess what? These are just my opinions, but they just want to it just seems that way. They want to throw this underneath the rug and just say this was just an accident. And like I said, it could well be an accident, right? But do I believe it's an accident? No, I don't believe it. Personally, that's just my opinion, guys. I don't believe it's an accident at all. I just don't believe it's an accident because, like I said before, when you find a human being all the way in the hatch of a vehicle, it's just so hard for me to believe that she just magically went in the back and she just floated back there. I really do believe if someone were to crash into the water and the window actually was down to the passenger side or whatever, the window was down, that, and in Adventures with a Purpose video, they actually talked about any struggle that you possibly could to get it out of that fucking car or vehicle, to get out of it, even with rushing water coming in. And I do believe that this was not an accident, dude. You know, these are my opinions, but it all points to the sign of foul play, y'all. You know what I mean? And we will know eventually. But for now, we just got to keep sharing our thoughts, sharing our opinions, right? Because these are just our opinions and how we feel. Now, as far as Kiely's mom goes, Kiely's mom, Lindsay. As a mom, as a parent, right? I'm not a parent, but I'm an uncle, right? But as an adult, losing one of your loved ones. Now, I really feel like I need to touch on this subject. It's just the way she was, acting at the spiritual party that they had for her, a celebration of life. I've seen some of the videos, the highlights, and she, like I said, man, her emotion was just not there for Kiely. It was just like, we appreciate you. We just want you guys now to all of a sudden stop. Before she wanted YouTubers to talk, right? And now she doesn't really want us to talk. That's where I have the really big problem. I have a really big problem in that, man, dude. Because we're not gonna stop, y'all. We gotta spread awareness. We gotta raise justice for Kiely. You know what I mean? And I've also seen some other videos on YouTube that also caught my attention because people have gone out to Prosser, right, to the actual spot at night, and it's truly dark as hell. In any park, I'm going to just say this because I've gone to several, state parks, national forests myself. And anytime you're out in element or state forest, national park, wherever you guys may be or wherever, nature takes you, because a lot of people like hiking like me, wherever you may go and it's nighttime, it's very dark. And if you're by a sea of water, or even just like a little pond or something like that, a reservoir, or whatever the case may be, when it's really dark and there's no lights at all, you cannot see. So I guess all my accident people out there, I guess I could understand where you guys are coming from as far as maybe she could have pulled off, with a mass exodus, right? With a mass exit with, I don't know how many cars supposedly. Was there 5 cars in one, where there's 5 people in one car and they're all taking off? But if this was the case, you would think that they're all following each other. Could she just have gone off? Could she just have gone off into her own and made the wrong turn and somehow ended up in a ravine down the hill, down there by the reservoir? All of a sudden, it's just an accident. I guess I could see that point, but I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it because of how they found her, man, but let me get back to my point. My point is basically what I was saying about when you go out there and it's dark, it's because, you can't see, and it's really hard if you're driving. Your car just goes right in. You don't see it. There's no lights. The water. Supposedly, again, this had happened, right? That all these people were at the party. Now, you would think, let me tell you this, guys. You would think that if there's supposedly all these parties going on, and not just one party, but there's a party over here that's going on, right? There's a party, like, how forest preserves and our state parks have like these little sections where you could see, or they just have places where you could like hang out, barbecue. But this specific park is a no-fire zone. You're not supposed to have campfires, stuff like that, because of California's wildfire law, you know what I mean? But supposedly, allegedly, I've heard that there were fires out there. Don't quote me on that. I'm not certain, but speculation, that's what I've heard. But you would think that all these people at these parties would have seen, what had happened to her car or Kiely as she's going into the water. This is another speculation where I have a problem with, because I believe there's not one person out there. There has to be at least 4 people who've seen and know what happened, and no one's talking. And that's how I feel, man. This shit is just personal opinion, guys. It's kind of sickening, man, to be honest, because Kiely needs justice, man. And to see how they're handling this case, not right, man. Not right at all, guys. I really do feel like at this point in time, every investigation, the FBI or law enforcement, did they really want to find her? Again, guys, these are just my opinions. If I were her family, if I had a brother, I have a sister, but if I was in that situation with a friend like that, I would honestly be like, you're not in the right state of mind, or you're a little buzzed, you're a little drunk. I'm going to make sure you get home safe. And all this could have been prevented. This is where I go back to Sammy Smith, her best friend, right? this is where she could have been like, you know what, Kiely, I can't let you drive. I'm gonna make sure I get you home safe. No, I don't want to go home. I want to stay and party. Cause we've all been there, guys. I've been there where I'm like, you know what? I want to stay here for another beer. I want to chill a little longer. But I really feel like if she would have stepped in, right, I would have been like, no, you're coming home. I'm going to get you a ride. I'm going to drive myself, or I'm going to find us a ride. You know what I'm saying? We have your car. I'll drive you home. This shit didn't happen, man. Sammy went with another stranger or her friend or some guy. Who the fuck knows, dude? You know what I'm saying? We don't know who she went with. Only Sammy knows who she went with. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, Sammy. We know. I mean, we don't know, but what's in the dark shall always come to the light. And that's where that comes into to play again. What did I tell you guys? I don't know, man. These are just my thoughts, guys. My opinions. You know what I mean? The nights are starting to get a little colder. And, for me, this is emotional to talk about these kind of cases, especially these ones that hit you right in the heart. And they're like, ugh. It's hard to, for me, especially me, man, because I have some anxiety that I deal with personally. But it's good to come up on the mic, man, and talk about something that you're passionate about. Whether it's, going for a hike, talking about true crime, and how you feel about getting justice for any human being that deserves it, man. Especially Kiely Rodni, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially Kiely. But yeah, guys, this is just my thought about everything. And each day I think about it, I always come up with something that I want to talk about new. But also I want to, how do I say this? I want to do, in my mind, I like to recap and go over something over a few times. If it's not once, maybe twice. And sometimes I'm like, I need to perfect it, or I need to go look at it again just so I could talk about it. Like, I need to look at every single detail that the camera that I've seen with the infrared camera for the wildfires inside Prosser. You know what I mean? Because when you see the lights and then you see like the car movements, and then like there were certain parts in that area in the forest where you could turn like off to the side, like by trees, and all of a sudden you're behind like this little hill. It looks like a little mountain because there's big mountains in there. Like off in the distance, there's all these mountains. So there's these little side roads inside Prosser, right? And it's just, it seems like it would be very difficult, especially at night, driving through there. I mean, dude, it gets dark as fuck. So either you gotta love, like, be passionate about that shit, but I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about doing all that shit. That'd be kind of scary. I would do it, but I'm just saying it would be kind of scary. But anyways, guys, these are just my thoughts, how I feel, and whatever needs to be done to bring justice towards finding out what had happened to Kiely, what truly went down that night. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, 100 YouTubers got to come together, thousands, millions of YouTubers keep spreading this awareness, and we will find out what happened. It might take a little while, but yeah, man. Just thinking about it though is like, because this all could have been prevented. You know? But anyways, thank you guys for joining this cast. Make sure you smash that like button as you guys disappear, right? As you guys leave. No, I'm just kidding. But no, these are just my thoughts, my opinions, and I love to come up on here, man, and talk about this kind of stuff because It's important, man. I feel like if I'm not talking about it, someone else is going to be talking about it, and it's very important that people do, because, like I said, spreading this awareness will ultimately find us exactly what happened to her. And these are my thoughts, man. Vinnies Talk. Thank you guys for joining, and until the next time, man, you guys know what to do, man. Like, subscribe to my videos, and until the next time, guys, peace out. Rest in peace, man. Justice for Kiely.